Hi, 皆さん、こんにちは. Hello, everyone. ¿Qué dice mi gente? Welcome to my new episode of ラミちゃんのプロ野球分析ニュースです. And welcome to 2022 Spring Training Camp. Today, I'm going to be talking about Yokohama DeNA Basters Camp. Right from the beginning, as I was a former Yokohama DeNA Basters監督, I'm going to walk you through some things that they may need to work on, especially in this camp, to get better during the season. But before I go there, make sure to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell. 3, 2, 1, Yorokonde! Get! Welcome back, everyone. Now, I'm going to be talking about Yokohama DeNA Basters. Yokohama DeNA Basters last year, even though they finished in the last place, this year they look very, very strong. And one of the things is that most of the Gaikokujin guys are back in the team. Now, when you look at the Gaikokujin guys, I got five Gaikokujin guys so far back in the team, and the rest of the players are very, very healthy right now. Yokohama DeNA Basters look very, very strong. Now, I'm going to walk you back to how we always, when we join the camp, how the process goes. So basically, we prepare all the strategy back in January. And then once we join on February 1st, the first day in camp, that's when we start putting all those strategy on play. And for some of these Gaikokujin guys, of course, they take their time, so we let them be. Just take your time, just get ready. You know, the season's not going to start tomorrow, so take your time. But the Nihonjin guys, most of the times, they do a lot of extra work. Some of these guys, we work on the weakness and also on the strength. So if we didn't steal too many bases last year, then we need to work extra work how to steal bases. If we had a lot of errors in the outfield, we take a lot of fly balls, a lot of ground balls, we throw a lot to the bases, and then we prepare our strategy, bunt situation and things like that. But also, another thing is we send a lot of the veteran guys, we send into the Nigun because we want to clear a spot for some of the rookie guys, the draft guys that we want to see. You know, so that's very important as well. And then we always have a good communication with the Nigun system, and also we let the veteran players know most of the times when they're going to join the team. Now, another thing is it's very important that we know that once before the games start, we have to create those strategies. We have to work on it, those strategies that we already thought about it back in January. And that way, when the game starts, we have to cut a little bit short on those strategies. So now, I want to talk about Yokohama DeNA Basters' strength and weakness from last year, and what can be the difference between DeNA Basters being in the last place this year and being an A-class team this year, 2022 season. Had the opportunity to be an A-class team. Stay tuned, more to come. So now I'm going to be talking about the weakness and the strength of Yokohama DeNA Basters. I strongly believe the Yokohama DeNA Basters 2022 season is going to be doing a lot better. Last year they did a tremendous job. This year they're looking really, really good. Even camp hasn't even started yet, but they have most of the Gaikokujin, they have 5 Gaikokujin players already. And that's a great feeling, way better than last year that they didn't have them. So they're already here. And on top of that, the Japanese players. So Yokohama DeNA Basters at this time, it looks complete, a complete team. So Yokohama DeNA Basters last year had 5 players hitting over 300 and 4 players in the top 10. That is amazing. So with the help this year of Maki, Kuwahara, and Sano, and both the Gaikokujin guys, of course, Soto, and also one of the best hitters in all Japanese baseball, Austin, DeNA basically can be in a position that, wow, it's going to impact right away. So, but the weakness is that last year, Yokohama DeNA Bastards struggled with the closing situation, the closer. So, who was the closer last year? They had three candidates. They had Michima, who had the opportunity to close 23 games. Yasuaki closed only one game. And also, Ise had the opportunity to be in that position, closing, but he couldn't close any game last year. Now, to be able to have a winning team, you may have to fix that area. It may need to be fixed. And when I say it needs to be fixed, you may have to choose one closer, one person to focus in that position. So that may be able to help the team to win more games. Now, the other things that it needs to be fixed that is negative at this point is the catcher. Who is going to be the starting catcher? As all the teams in the Central League, they have a starting catcher, and some of these teams, I mean, they're doing really, really good. Yokohama DeNA Bastards need one starting catcher. So in this case, they have Yamamoto. Yamamoto is a very talented catcher, of course, and he has a great future in front of him. He did tremendously when the starting pitchers were pitching, but the stats show a little bit different when the closers and the relievers were, when he was catching with the relievers and at the end of the game. Now, they also have, another guy they have Ito, all right? Ito has experience, and he's a very, very good catcher. He comes from the Pacific League. He has been with the team for a couple of years. And that's going to also be very interesting. So it all depends whether they want to use Ito at the beginning of the season or they want to go with somebody else. Now, on the other hand, they have Tobashida. Tobashida is probably one of the best catchers and probably the number one candidate to be able to be an everyday catcher. As the numbers show that Tobashida has a very, very good numbers as his ERA when he's catching, not only as a starting pitcher, but also with the relievers. So they have a good communication also with Michima, with Yasuaki, and then also with Escobar, with some of the relievers. So these can be plus also for Tobashida to be able to take over that position. And then when you look at his batting, Tobashida can easily hit around 240 with maybe eight home runs if he gets 400 at bats, 40 RBIs, and those numbers for a catcher is very, very good. He may be in the top 2 or 3 catchers in the Central League if he can put those numbers. So if Yokohama DeNA Bastards can fix some of these negative parts that he has right now, with the pitching staff that Yokohama DeNA Bastards has, with the hitters that Yokohama DeNA Bastards has, Yokohama DeNA Bastards may be an A-class team this year, 2022. So I wish you guys all the best for this year, and for all of you Yokohama DeNA Bastards fans, this may be the year where Yokohama DeNA Bastards may be back into the A-class team. If you guys like this episode, make sure to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell. 3, 2, 1, Yorokonde! Get!